Hi everyone, I'm Tylynn Pettrey, VP of Data Science here at Chalice Custom Algorithms. I've been working with Chalice for roughly 3 years and worked with a team of data scientists, machine learning engineers, and software developers to develop cutting-edge algorithms that can be applied to any advertising campaign. At Chalice, we believe that software should be configured to directly impact the business outcomes that matter to advertisers. Let's take an example. One systemic problem that all advertisers buying media programmatically need to consider is overbidding. Today, almost all programmatic ad exchanges utilize first price auctions. This is similar to eBay, where the highest bidder wins the impression. However, this causes problems because advertisers do not want to miss out on valuable impressions. So naturally, they tend to overbid to ensure that they win this impression. A solution is needed to accurately predict the minimum bid to win each programmatic auction to maximize the effectiveness of advertising dollars. This is what Chalice has built with their TVB native application. This application provides a simulation to detect overbidding and recommend bid adjustments that can ensure that you are bidding only the price needed to win each impression and not overpaying. Let's take a look at this application and see how we can run our own simulation to detect overbidding and action on that information. When you install the Chalice native app, what you'll see is an introduction page describing all of the information necessary to run the application and obtain your simulated results detecting overbidding. Let's go through the instructions, and I'll walk you through step by step of how you can download a report from the trade desk, upload it to Snowflake, and then utilize that report to run your own simulation in the TVB native application. First, let's go over to the trade desk. We need to download a win rate report. This is the building block of the Chalice simulation technology. By using win rates, we can detect how often you are overpaying for a given impression and model out the appropriate price to still win that impression without any overbidding. When you log into your trade desk account, you'll notice that there is a report button on the far left-hand side of the screen. Click into that, and then scroll all the way over to the right and click on the TSV/CSV report button. You'll notice that a new custom report field pops up. For TVB, follow the instructions in the README and go through and add the following features to field. You want to ensure that user hour, week, supply vendor, and metro are in the associated fields column. You can add more fields if you would like to add additional variables to your simulation, but I will caution that the trade desk has a hard limit of 1 million rows per report, and adding additional fields, such as site, can cause you to go over this limit and break the report. So these are the variables that Chalice has found most actionable for TVB simulations. I would recommend starting with these, and if you find that your report has room for more variables, you can always add them later. For metrics, you also need to add advertiser cost, media cost, impressions, and bids. We found that this simulation is most helpful when it's run at the ad group level. That way, you can see that all of the particular ad group rails are accounted for to make sure that the simulation is as accurate as possible. You can group ad groups together and run an overall simulation or run it at the campaign level. What will not work, however, is when you include different media formats within the same simulation report. Because some level of aggregation is used, you want to make sure that you're not combining CTV impressions with your display impressions because the price points are very different. So for maximum accuracy, please ensure that you're only selecting one media format for the simulation. Finally, you'll note that in the introduction, we dynamically describe which date ranges you will need to pull reports for. TVB requires 8 weeks of historical reporting, so please ensure that you follow these guidelines for the date and download a report for each one of these weeks. I'm going to go in here now and select my first report. I'm going to select a custom date range, ensure that this is going to run from September 6th through September 12th, as detailed in the instruction guide. I'm going to enter my email address, and then I'm going to generate run. Now that the report has been sent to my email, I can download the file and get ready to load it in the Snowflake. Let's go over to the next step. Now that we've downloaded our reports, we want to make sure that they are accessible in Snowflake. So we have 2 different files here instructing you how to upload your report to Snowflake. They are listed here and here. What you're going to do is go log into your Snowflake account. You're going to click the Add Data button on the far left-hand side, and then you're going to either upload or drag your file into the table. From here, pick the schema that you would like to upload it to, create a table name. I recommend using the advertiser name that this is associated with, the media format, and the ad groups that this is associated with as well to ensure that it's easy to find. Then ensure that all of the expected fields are in the report. Here I see hour of week, metro, supply vendor, my cost metrics, my impressions, and my bids. Then I can hit load. Once that is loaded, the final step to utilize this report is to ensure that it has permissions for the TVB native application. You can follow this code to make sure that our app is able to access the table that you have now created. You do not want to modify this line below the code unless you do not want to modify anything below this line unless it is to remove creation code due to a lack of permission. What you will need to do is change these two names to make sure that they match the table that you have put your win rate report into. After you run this code in the Snowflake Snowsite worksheet, we can then go back to our start. We can then go back to our README, make sure that we haven't forgotten any steps, make sure that we have loaded all 8 win rate reports, and now we can get ready to run the simulation. Over on the left-hand side, we can click into the TVB native application. From here, it's very simple to run your simulation. All we need to do is select the database that we will be pulling from, select the schema, and then select our table. So here, what we uploaded is our Trade Desk win rate report for an example advertiser that is using the video display format and all ad groups associated with it. Now, let's run the simulation and see how much we can save. All right, now that the simulation is done running, let's go see our results. And here, as you can see, the truth is you're overpaying. TVB is excellent at finding lowest bid to win and detecting the potential savings that you can find in your programmatic advertising auctions. Here, the results are quite surprising. We can save up to 30.3% just by implementing TVB to reduce overbidding in programmatic online auctions. Let's see a visual of this. As you can see here, the red line indicates what you would have been paying using your current optimizations. With TVB following the blue line, there are substantial savings to be found with minimal efforts. To get a sense of this, TVB also provides a line-by-line analysis of exactly where you can find these savings. Here, for example, you can see that in this ad group on index change during user hour of week 154 in New York City, you would have been paying 0.014 or approximately a $14 CPM when you convert it, but you could only be bidding $9. These are substantial savings that can be implemented when you utilize the Chalice TVB algorithm. And now you know how to implement a win rate report, run a TVB simulation. Next steps are to get in touch with Chalice and try implementing the results of the simulations for your own advertising campaign. Thank you for watching this video.